Thank you, Honourable Member. The next speaker is the Honourable Ngubane of the MK Party.
Honourable Speaker, Members of Parliament, I greet you in the name of our President, President Jacob Gedleyihlekisa Zuma, the only honest patriot in South Africa who's ever lived. Intelligence by its nature is the epitome to protecting the sovereignty of our country. It is through this crucial yet sensitive community that we rely on to anticipate economic, regional, and geopolitical threats to our nation. The emergence of advanced digital technologies and the knowledge economy create an even more complex threat to all our government entities and citizens at large. We have seen such threats continue to increase through the deliberate intrusion of our systems and infrastructure, making such systems and the sensitive information in them dangerously vulnerable. To date, we don't seem to have a comprehensive and centralized cybersecurity entity that focuses specifically on monitoring any form of cyber threats. In actual fact, it is extremely worrisome, Minister, that in this day and age, we are still discussing implementing security, cybersecurity. And Minister, you once heard at the CETA, and you know very well that the cybersecurity comes way back in the 70s. But here we are, we have entities that have zero cybersecurity at this time and age of our day. The SAPS, by the way, is already using this tool to monitor Facebook, a monitoring Facebook tool. If you want to know that, Minister, you must ask your current SG, the Secretary. He was very hyped about it at his tenure as a Minister of Police. He was so excited, he went around speaking about that he could monitor anyone who's doing what and what he's not doing on Facebook. So these things are there. The only problem we have is that the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. I'm mentioning this, Minister, so that you know that there needs to be collaboration in these entities. For example, last Sunday we read on the Sunday newspapers that one intelligence agency in South Africa will start monitoring social media users. Is this the kind of monitoring meant to assist our intelligence gathering, or is it pure intrusion of privacy? I guess, but we need both balance to balance the two while securing our citizens. It's most difficult to assist these intelligence agencies in terms of oversight if we as members of parliament sent here by our constituencies are unable to spend a day or two with these APPs, strategic plan, financials, and other documents to scrutinize them of their truthfulness. Hence, I'm not going to go deep in poking holes and deficiencies in this document that they were presented by these entities. Because we're given only a day to sit with this document and presentation is done to us, and we're not given maybe 2 days to scrutinize all these documents and financials of these entities. That's called oversight, not just a presentation. I'm not even going to go mention about budget card, Minister. These entities, 3 of them, are supposed to have been removed from budget card if we are really serious about securing this country. We bring in foreign entities to mess up with our elections instead of prioritizing sovereignty in our intelligence agencies. We need to relook at these special intelligence agencies of our country and to bring about a forced collaboration. Others are far advanced in what they're doing, whilst the others are backwardness and in terms of technology. So the situation cannot be allowed, it needs to be fixed ASAP. There are no jurisdictions. The defense intelligence is doing what the SEPS intelligence is doing. The SEPS intelligence is doing what the state security is doing. The state security is doing what the defense intelligence is doing, vice versa. And the net joints does not speak to each other. That example, you know what happened in KZN when the other one was telling the other one that I gave you information and the other one said I didn't receive information. So we have all the disjointed intelligence agencies that doesn't talk to each other. Westminster is this joke of a constitutional hindrances. As a state, the turnaround time in fixing what constitution is blocking us or delaying us on securing South Africans should be corrected the day it is found. But it waits for years reminiscing about what to do. How do you tell a thief that, Mr. Thief, I'm requesting to monitor your whereabouts and your gadgets? That's nonsense, Minister. If you want to secure your county, you can't tell a thief that I need a right to monitor you. Where have you heard that? But we're saying we have a state security. So those are all our shortcomings, Minister, with our intelligence. We need an intelligence agency reform. We need to professionalize these entities. We need to use the latest technology in these entities to bring the quick turnaround time in crime prevention. With modern technologies, including artificial intelligence, you are able to improve on trend analysis, and your predictive capacity will also improve. We need to increase the funding of these entities. We need to instill collaboration in these entities. Net joint operational and intelligence structures, or net joints, the most security cluster headed by SSA, SEPS, and the SANDF. You know the story of Nhlanhla Sizani as well, that happened. Those are all the loopholes that we have in this country about our state security. We need to create a scenarios, Minister, where each entity watch other entities. We have entities in state security that runs amok in this country. They don't account to anyone. They think they are bigger than other entities. We need to have a collaboration with these entities so that the other one is watching the other one and the other one is watching the other one to secure and to prevent corruption. We can do far better other than using these entities for cash siphoning only and for fighting internal political battles. There's more we can gain from these entities if we're really serious about our country. These entities are not for proving who's clever than the other. These entities are for securing our country, the future of our kids and all our citizens. The Westminster is the miscellaneous death in this country of high-profile individuals before they face their sins in court. They tend to vanish. Some, they die before they go to court. Some, they have accident, miscellaneous accident. And we are treated as kids in this country. The example of Marcus Eustace and all those people who are supposed to be hounded to court, like we hound other black people who are corrupt in this country, but there is a race that is unaccountable in this country when it's supposed to account.
Honourable Member, your time has now expired.
Okay, thanks. Minister, the NGO as well is a problem in this country, but as MK Party, we do not support this budget. Thank you.
The next speaker is the Honourable Dlamini of the EFF.
I'm fine, how are you? Thank you very much, GNU Chair. And let me greet the leadership of the EFF that is here in the House. And GNU Chair, want to first state clearly that the EFF is rejecting this budget.
Honourable Member,
yes.
You will find that I will also protect your rights, so please refrain from referring to me as the GNU.
You've left. Okay, thank you, Chair, but not unless you have left GNU. So, Chair, we want to first, on the onset, to say that the EFF is rejecting this budget. And we're going to explain broadly on the incompetencies that are found in the State Security Agency and Intelligence. And I want to say, despite the slow pace of transforming this broken security agency since Mr. Ramaphosa took over as president, particularly the much-needed separation of domestic and foreign branches. The state security still remains largely useless and unproductive. And after the embarrassing display of incompetence following the July unrest in 2021, our intelligence agencies will still have to unlock the several infiltrations in misinformations and information peddlers within its ranks. You saw what happened in the 2021 July unrest. There were a lot of misinformation, information peddling. As things stand now, nothing has been achieved. The only conviction that was achieved on the 2021 July unrest was that gentleman of Woolworths, and that was not intelligence. That was just social media to show how incompetent our state security agents are, defeated by social media, and that has not happened. However, Chair, what should worry South Africa is the continuing rise and growth of the sophisticated organized crime, which has recently been revealed by the escape of Thabo from prison. There is a growing evidence that criminals, through highly placed and important personnel within the correctional services, continue to facilitate sophisticated criminal operations that undermine the credibility of the entire criminal justice system. Criminals are able to leave maximum prisons to perform heinous crimes and come back to their cells without any trace. This is the biggest security breach and will result in the general populace losing the total confidence in the justice criminal system. The Thabo escape, above everything, tells us that we do not have intelligence agencies that are able to intercept and present such breaches of our national security. The same story with the Thabo Chair. It was not intelligence, it was social media and Woolworths. And I think as things stand now, Woolworths, they are doing better than our state agencies, because 2021 unrest, it was Woolworths, Thabo Woolworths cameras. Another related aspect to this phenomenon is the growing power of assassination networks in our country. These networks extend to the prison system. One can today rely on a convicted criminal serving a long sentence in a maximum facility to perform assassinations outside and go back to prison. We've seen and we've heard stories of these boys called Izinkabi that have been arrested and they are serving long term in prison. But they get bought and then they get released over the weekend to go and continue with assassinations, and then they go back on Monday. That is why even the police are failing to combat the issues of assassinations that are taking over in this country. It is a fact that these assassination networks are commanded or even used by individuals within the top levels of security forces to settle differences or at times eliminate their opponents. A country with an inability to neutralize organized assassinations network is a country with a totally dysfunctional and infiltrated intelligence capability. In addition, the growing power of criminal consortia that operate in pursuit of parasitic local government tender system is continuing to erode service delivery in many communities. We've got a group of gangsters that now they go and hijack service delivery projects in the name of business, and our intelligence systems are found wanting. They can't, and that has affected a lot of projects that were supposed to have been delivered. Our intelligence systems cannot predict and totally undermine the efforts of these activities so as to allow the delivery of service delivery to occur. In fact, this is one of the key reasons the EFF believes that building state capacity is the only solution to abolish the tender system, so that once we've abolished tender systems, even these criminal elements, they won't find any space because they cannot stop projects that are delivered by the government. But the question that we should ask, Minister, on this budget is that the people that are in this intelligence system, what do they do? In the crime intelligence, in the security intelligence, what is it that they do? Because as things stand now, there's nothing that this country can say, this is a result of the intelligence system. Everything else, it has collapsed, they are incompetent, they are not helping anything. One case in point is an issue of Palapala. The Palapala saga is carrying a lot of answers. The Joint Standing Committee of Intelligence refused to hold an open investigation into the Palapala matter in which serious allegations of abuse of these state agencies by the sitting presidents were made. Once more, the Parliament failed to hold the executive accountable, choosing instead to shield the president from scrutiny and pretend as if it is business as usual. So the Parliamenta, there were a lot of allegations that were made there by Mr. Fraser on using the security agencies, taking people to cross our borders to Namibia, and the Parliament refused to hold the president accountable. So there are a lot of issues, Minister. So it doesn't make sense of why we would even try to support this budget. Maybe what you need to do is just a total overhaul of that whole department and make sure that you've got
now expired.
People that are not compromised. So we remain rejecting this budget, Minister. Maybe try next time when you got better people.